You like that?
Hail to the king, baby.
Here's the thing, though. What I've been doing is 3:30 every morning. I get up and I do my sprints. Yeah, I mean, those are prime sprinting hours. People don't realize. And that's how I know I'm succeeding, is if I'm doing my sprints while everyone else is asleep. It's a winning mindset is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch.
Good morning. Victory Monday.
You ever meet somebody and they're so boring you feel like they poisoned you? Like, you're talking to them and you're like, I feel like I'm dying right now. And I think you did it.
No, that's only when Chris Collinsworth is calling a game.
Peace up, A-Town. Yeah! Okay! Usher. Lil Jon! Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabenda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. It's Victory Monday for the entire NFC North. Good morning, Scotty Reno. Good morning, Sebastian. But you made it through the bye week, Sebastian. Yeah. Good morning. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is NFC North Talk, and most importantly, football talk with your host, Russell Wayne. That is me right here. It is Victory Monday for the Detroit Lions. It is Victory Monday. It is Victory Monday for the Green Bay Packers as well. We are broadcasting live. We are live right now in the Detroit Lions news. Thank you to the Detroit Lions news. We like that. You allow us to broadcast into your spot. We like that. That right there is where we are at. And we are also broadcasting live into Mike the Bear Fan. Mike the Bear Fan, good morning, Chicago. I know you're on a bye week. You guys made it through the bye week. So did our friends up north with the Vikings wearing the weird helmets. They also survived their bye week. We are also broadcasting live into the Villain Squad. Right now we have over 11,000 villains. We are on our way to 12,000 villains. And it is good day to be a Detroit Lions fan as I bring on my compadre, Main event Mike. Good morning.
Good morning, Russ.
Yep, you had hit me up, and our 9-3 post is out there doing well, huh? 9-3.
Yep, I want over 1,000 engagements in just 14 hours, so that's awesome. The Sam Laporta one is also coming up to 1,000.
I like it.
Nice. It's good when the team wins. It's Victory Monday, baby. You got to feel good about 9-3.
You have to. I mean, I've been going through a lot of the other podcasts that are out there, and it just amazes me how Lion fan is. Lion fan can take a win and make it feel like a loss. And here we are, where you put a post up yesterday that said if I had a nickel for every single time that we were 9-3, I'd have one freaking nickel. One nickel.
Sounds funnier when you say it.
One nickel I would have. Every time we were 9-3, it's like, just smell the air. I mean, I don't care how these things are happening. The Lions aren't used to winning. I mean, it's like they have this attitude like we have this like long pedigree of winning, and gosh, I just do not like the way they're winning. Oh, they're winning. We're not used to winning. We're not used to having 9 wins with 5 games left. And they're winnable games. And I'm going to put a congratulations out there because I hate seeing the success of the Green Bay Packers, but we're going to talk about this today, which is the Green Bay Packers are here and they're for real, guys. This isn't some flash in the pan. Jordan Love. And we're going to start there. Face it. The Packers are good. They had a rough start to it. The youngest roster in the NFL kind of got smacked around a little bit the first couple of weeks. But now you're looking at that defense with Quay Walker and, Campbell, and you got, Wyatt up front with Rashad Gary. And Jordan Love looks like who freaking Dini out there. Running around slinging the ball off of his side, and that's a good team. I mean, if you want to argue stuff like at the end of that game where there was an egregious pass interference that was not called, if you want to take the referee route, feel free. I'm not going to take that route because regardless of taking that play out or not, the Packers played a great game. They played good enough to win the game. And you can't take the win away from them in any way, shape, or form. Not like you guys did to us on our win versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a quality win by the Green Bay Packers. No way, other way to look at it, in my opinion. How do you feel about that Green Bay Packer win last night?
I think that the big story of the weekend is a love story. Jordan Love. The kid's the real deal. I watched the entire game last night, Russ, and it's what we've been saying I've been saying all year that, look, the kid doesn't look rattled. He doesn't look scared. And last night he took it to another level, beating the Kansas City Chiefs, beating a quality team. And let's face it, he looked like the best player on the field. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, all these guys. Excuse me. Jordan Love looked like the best player on the field, Russ.
He did. I mean, Patrick Mahomes did not have a great game. That he had a really bad interception there late in the game where he just kind of lofted the ball up there, and Nixon was able to make a play on the ball. And yeah, I mean, he looked great because the thing is like when you see a quarterback escape the pocket, or you see the quarterback going through his progressions, it's like if you're blitzing somebody and the quarterback is good, he just, without even thinking about it, he's just like zip it, throw it right to the open spot that you blitzed from, and he killed the blitz like that. He looked very comfortable and poised.
It's my quarterback.
No, he's not my quarterback. But if I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, that's I'm very encouraged by what we're seeing from Jordan Love. And then you got, that's a defense that's showing out without Jair Alexander, without your best cornerback or your best defender out on the field. So I only look at the rest of the schedule, and you can't look at any team and overlook them, right? This is the NFL any given Sunday, but I don't see a loss on their schedule for the rest of the season, and that sucks because I hate the Packers. I hate the Packers, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous that their fan base just doesn't know what it's like to lose. They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they go on a losing streak within a season. 8-9 is the sky falling.
Yeah.
And it's like, know what pain is.
But Kansas City's defense is no joke. Okay. They might not be top 3 in the league, but they're definitely top 10 in every statistical category. Jordan Love torched them. 25 of 36, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Some of those throws reminded me of Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to lie. I was like, wow, that was Rodgers-esque. He had a passer rating of 118.6. That's 2 games in a row now. The game has obviously slowed down. He's beat 2 good teams in Detroit and Kansas City. And like you said, their schedule's nothing but cream puffs from here on out. So, yeah, going to be they get Carolina, they get the Giants, they get the Bears. They could win out, like you say. The Lions are going to need to win to keep pace with that to stay ahead of them. But I still go back to what I say a couple weeks or last week was, I hope the Lions do play the Packers in the playoffs. I want to beat the Packers. That Thanksgiving Day game. Look, yesterday the Lions were out-produced in every statistical category except total rushing yards and turnovers. Other than that, the Saints outdueled us in the box score, okay? What was the difference? Saints had 2 turnovers. The Lions had 0. Just like we predicted, the Lions bounced back with a 0 turnover game, and they were able to win the game. If they can control the turnovers, this Lions team, and if that defense can come out and swarm, they can beat anyone.
Yeah, so we're moving on from that because I was looking through the comments here while you were talking right there, and we've talked about the Packers. I think that we gushed on the Packers enough because I'm looking through here. I'm not seeing much.
I got to gush on them one more time, Russ. I got to gush on their defense.
Go ahead. Yep.
Their defense gave up 19 points to Patrick Mahomes. That's awesome. Okay. That is below the average that they are scoring since week 1. They also were really good, stout. They made, Patrick Mahomes is going to get his, right? But when you get down into the red zone, stiffen up, and they were able to get Kansas City to kick field goals. And in transition, the Packers were able to score touchdowns. That was the difference in the game. Kudos to Joe Barry. Kudos to Green Bay. They were figuring out that they had a good game plan coming in. They were getting to Mahomes. They were getting a pass rush with 4 guys, and their secondary played good. We bagged on them for getting rid of Rasul Douglas, but this Ballantyne kid is looking great.
Well, they bet on their young crew. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with betting on your young crew because, for one, if you can get any of them to play any kind of starter level, you're getting a bargain. You guys are coming in for $150 and they're playing at a level. Yeah, of course you get a draft pick back. And they were fortunate with that. I saw a couple penalty type of thing. That was a pass interference at the end that wasn't called. That should have been 1st and goal from the
absolutely
100%. I get that. But the thing is they didn't call it. Yeah. And the game was so close. The game was so close up to that point. You can't say that. That is that the referees did not give them the game. They outplayed the Kansas City Chiefs in that game, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs there.
But that was egregious, Russ. I mean, I know it's the Packers, but it sounds like you're kind of on board and you're glad that they didn't call that because I know you hate it when the referees decide the game.
I hate it. I mean, the thing, no, I'm not agreeing with it or not agreeing with it. I'm just saying, here we are. This is our responsibility covering the news of it, right? To call it out for what it is. It was an egregious no call. Like, if I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I would feel like I got robbed. I would feel 100%.
He had his arm around the neck
It was
of the
egregious.
receiver. Good God.
It was
terrible.
egregious.
And if they had called that, Chiefs win the game.
And here's another thing that was happening in that game. And I'm just, you want to poke holes a little bit into the Packer win right here. Pacheco was running all over you. And you're lucky that they pulled him out of the game and disqualified him from the game, because I believe that they would have scored on that last drive going down there if they had Pacheco still in the game right there. He was, from a physical standpoint, wow, what a good game from Isaiah Pacheco. Am I saying his name right? Pacheco?
Isaiah Pacheco.
Isaiah
Pacheco, 18 carries, 110 yards. He was averaging over
Beast.
6 yards a carry, Russell.
Woo! He was killing.
But the real story here has to be they held Patrick Mahomes to a passer rating of 79.1. A great
that's because they couldn't stop the run. He wasn't. That's because he wasn't passing the ball. I mean, he was just running the ball all over him. Run.
No, he had 30. He had 30. He had 33 pass attempts.
That's okay. That's low for Patrick Mahomes, but they were running the ball good. They were going just fine. I'm sitting there watching the game from a fantasy football because I have Patrick Mahomes on my damn fantasy team, watching him hand the ball, get into the red zone and give a rushing touchdown. Oh my God. You need to be Mahomes, damn it. And he wasn't being Mahomes. They were having success on the ground. And
I have Isaiah Pacheco on my fantasy team.
Yeah, you like that.
No, he was sitting on the bench.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But you know
I'm a worse GM than Quezzy.
But we're on record right here. I even got the outline of our graphic today is in green. We are Lions fans. First and foremost, 100%. But we are not Homer Lions fans to the point where we can't give our mortal enemies, the Green Bay Packers, the credit that they deserve, which is there they are. Here we are in the Green Bay Packers, 40 million behind the cap, mind you, are a legit team, and they remind me a lot of the Lions, right? Coming out of that Thanksgiving loss to the Buffalo Bills, where I'm like, these guys could go on a run. They ain't playing nobody, guys. It's not like they got to beat great teams to do. They can go on this run. They can get right. And if the cards fall right and they're 10-7 at the end of the season, they could be in playoffs.
Well, they're currently 6-6, with the youngest roster in the league, and a bunch of cream puffs on the schedule. Like you said, Russ, they could run the table from here on out, right? And end up 11-6
for sure. GT Grove Teague up in the comments right there. Mahomes has no receiver, so he gets punished for drops. There is some truth to that. They probably would have. I mean, you could argue the people that want to put asterisks next to our Kansas City win. If Tony didn't drop that ball, they probably could have beat us.
And if they would have called that pass interference, they would have beat the Packers. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, but still, that's still, I mean, gosh, I hate doing that. I don't want to do the ref thing. Damn it. I don't want to do the ref thing. But Lions, 49ers.
There are a couple things in this coming out of this weekend that we can celebrate. Lions reach 9-3 for the first time in my lifetime. That's amazing. The bye week, so the Bears didn't lose. Bear fans could celebrate not losing. And Packer fans could celebrate the fact that they're 6-6 with some cream puff games going down the stretch. They could make the playoffs, which and honestly, none of these Packer fans at the beginning of the year were picking their team to make the playoffs. So that's got to be a pleasant surprise. Josh Dobbs gets a bye week to get to absorb the playbook some more. So all four of these teams in the NFC North coming down the home stretch. It's nice to be the Lions with a comfortable lead right now, but it is by no means safe.
Yeah, well, it's a 3-game lead in the division with 5 games left, which means that you take care of your own business and you're fine. Like everything, business as usual. Did the Lions play better on defense? Let's go to the Lions game right here because we do have a lot of Lions fans in here that were making a lot of comments about this win. Do you want to comment on it first?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you always do the box score stuff. You do.
I do. And, no, like I said, we were outgained in every statistical category. On third down, the New Orleans Saints were 50% on third down. The Lions defense did get a good stop on fourth down. But, they executed more plays. They had 23 first downs compared to our 18 first downs. They rushed the ball for a total of 113 yards. We had 142 yards. That was probably the only stat that they had more. But let's talk about Taysom Hill, right? Taysom Hill, this guy was killing us. He was the leading rusher for the Saints in the game. He was averaging 4.5 yards a carry. So no, I don't think the Lions defense had that great of a showing. I think the offense cleaned up the deficiencies that they had of turning the ball over. They were able to run the ball. We ran the ball for 142 yards. And I'll tell you what, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Dennis Allen cost this team the victory. It was third down. It was the last possession of the game for the Saints. It was 3rd and 6. Jameis Winston is under center. Taysom Hill had just run a 4-yard run to make it 3rd and 6. Taysom Hill runs back to the sideline. He goes to go back out on the field, and they stop him, and he throws a fit. He's on the sideline, visibly shaken that they did not put him back in the game. He was crushing the Lions all day. 3rd and 6, they leave him on the sideline. Jameis Winston throws an incomplete pass. Now it's 4th and 6. He's about ready to run back on the sideline. No, they stop him. Now he's completely livid, rightly so, on the sideline. What happens? Jameis Winston throws another incomplete pass. Game over. It was 3rd and 6 with 2 chances. Taysom Hill's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Why don't you have that guy in there? Every time Jameis Winston come in the ball game or Derek Carr would come in the ball game, the crowd would boo. When Taysom comes on the field, the crowd would cheer. If I'm a New Orleans Saints fan today, I am beside myself with the play calling at the end of the game for New Orleans. So no, I'm not going to give the Detroit Lions defense a pass. They were the same guys they were last week. Just the offense did their job better. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it.
Okay. Well, we didn't watch the same game. We missed part of the game, and that's where the Lions went down, scored, and then they got an interception, and then they scored again, and then they did a 3-and-out, and then they scored again, and then they 3-and-out them again, 3-and-out them again. Then they scored a touchdown. They gave up another touchdown, and then they held them another 3-and-out, and they were up 24-7 at half. They had 7 tackles for loss in the game. And really this Saints team moved the ball and were able to move the ball off of what I would call more like fluke type of plays right there. If you want to blame it on the defense and say we got torched, that's all. I think that's an egregious overplay. I got the last 3 weeks stuck in my mind, and I'm gonna bring some of that in with that because you have one of these plays where Derek Carr moves out, he chucks the ball up just for anybody to get it, and Olave made a great play. That's great. Play. You move the chain. It was a great play, but I'm not going to blame that on the defense. That should have been an interception if everybody had if the throw was on target, it would have been an interception. Our guy was there to make the play. And then there was another play where Derek Barnes on 3rd down tips the ball up into the air on a bad throw and just dumb luck lands right into the hands of the receiver. where it was going to be an interception. The ball was going right to Jerry Jacobs for an interception. You're talking dumb luck to move the chains. And then on a 3rd and 17, Bruce Irvin puts a clean hit on the quarterback and drives him to the ground. You shouldn't have driven him to the ground because that was a penalty. You got flagged 15 yards. It is what it is right there. But I think the defense played way better this time. And if it wasn't for dumb luck, they would have blown them out of the game as we go into that, because I'm on the complete opposite side of that. But I do want to talk about Bruce Irvin with this. And I think that we can throw it out the window right off the bat, like that he's just some side player coming in for veteran presence. This guy's obviously going to impact the game. Really, you take the 1 sack away, he does walk away with 1 sack. Should have been 2 sacks if he learns how to form tackle and not kill the quarterback. He's going to be an impact player. What do you think about Bruce Irvin, Mike?
I love it. I love that he made an impact in his first game as a Detroit Lion. We talked about it leading up to this game that Bruce Irvin's nasty. He's a dog, right? This is why Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes brought him on the team.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
They waited a week. They made sure he was in game shape, and the guy's a dog. He's received many personal foul penalties in his career. He also holds the distinction as being the only NFL player to be ejected from a Super Bowl. He was a member of the Legion of Boom.
Kneecap off.
He brings a championship ring to this defense, the only championship ring on that side of the ball for us. So I love that he showed his dog. And even if it was a 15-yard penalty, I don't care. It's the kind he plays violent, and that's what Dan Campbell loves.
Well, we don't care because we won, right? But if we're looking at this and we're looking at a loss right now, and I know that you attest it to bad coaching on the other side, and that's fair. I mean, I like that analysis of it because they had a chance to win, even though I think that we should have won in dominating fashion. But I mean, I look at those dumb luck type of plays, and I don't want to call it luck, but I can call it luck now because we won. At the end of the day, we walk away with the victory, but I think it was more convincing than what you would think outside of the dumb luck, because that dumb luck stuff, tip passes right into the other people, that's not going to happen in every game. You can't count on that to happen against us in every game. You know, it's like last year with the Vikings. They won all those real close games, and that's why they won a lot of games. They won a lot of really close games. Well, you can't keep that trend up. You're not always going to be on the right side of the 50-50s. And the Lions were on the wrong side of like 3 50-50s yesterday and still were able to come out with a victory. So I liked it. I love the fact that Bruce Irvin came in to the game right off the bat. You can see his athleticism. It's popping off. Yeah. And he isn't even, I'd love to see what his snap count was, but I'm sure that he didn't get a ton of snap because they're still working him into football shape and whatnot.
That was going to be my next point. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of snaps. In college, the guy ran a 4.43 in the 40-yard dash. I realize he's 36 years old now, but on his sack that he got, you could see the speed is still there off the edge.
I don't give a crap how old he is. It's like you can see that he's the type of guy that's going to impact the game right off the bat. So as long as they don't injure him, I think that he's going to be an impact player, and I think he's going to affect the rest of the guys too. And they need a guy that can chase down Justin frickin' Fields. They need a guy that's fast enough to, not lose him on the edge and, without an angle. You're dead. You're dead in the water. Let me see what we got in here. Anybody got some stuff on Bruce Irvin? Yeah, Bruce in the echo of Sue. Bruce.
I love that call out. We're gonna have to do that at Ford Field. Bruce.
Yeah, I like that. Paul says, I like having Bruce because I noticed that he lined up single blocks with Hutchin being doubled and chipped. That's it. That's what they were talking about. That's what Aaron Glenn was talking about, was like, look, they already understand that they're going to put 2 guys on Hutchinson on literally every play.
Mm-hmm.
So
with James Houston coming back, with him and Bruce Irvin now on the other side, Romeo Okwara had a really good game coming up the middle too. He did get a sack, but I think even bigger than the sack was getting his paws up just as Derek Carr was going to throw and stopped. A guy was wide open on a 3rd down. So I thought the D-line played better. Let's face it. The D-line played better than they have.
Oh, the defense played out of their mind better than what they've been playing. Give up huge plays outside of fluke plays. Without our offense this year, we would be a 500 team. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's like, okay, hey, Mike, without the strength of our team, we would be 500. Well, yeah, obviously. We built our team around the offense. I mean, whether you like it or not, I mean, I know they say defense wins championships, which is bullshit, by the way. I mean, San Francisco's had the best defense in the league for 6 years now. How many championships did that bring them? It's offensive teams that win. You have to have a top flight offense, and San Francisco has that this year to go along with their good defense. So, I think that we can win with our offense. That's what we're built on. I mean, I think our offense left a whole bunch of points on the table. I mean, we have not yet begun to score. I mean, has anybody watched this kid right here, Super Frickin' Man, yet? I mean, Jamison Williams is really fast. Has anybody noticed this, Mike? Did you notice that he was really fast?
Have you seen the meme out there on Facebook with him with a cape?
Yeah, I mean,
I told you yesterday, I said, you watch, we're going to see 100 memes tomorrow of J-Mo flying through the air with the ball.
Jamison is really, really fast. And right now, it's like teams are scheming because they have to be accounting for how fast he is.
Yeah, sure.
And it's like, this guy is impacting the game. He gets like 2 touches a game right now. And do you think that's gonna
go ahead?
I mean, here's the thing. It's like, I hear a lot of criticism out there with the Jamison. He's not touching the ball enough. Why isn't Ben Johnson scheming in the ball more? And that's fair. But also, if you want this guy to be peaking, right? When do you want him to peak? When do you want to unleash Jamison? Do you want to unleash him so you can, peak these last 6 weeks? Or do you want him to start peaking with 3 weeks left, where then you start throwing the ball to him 8 times a game?
Yeah, Jay says, I tried to calculate his speed based off him running 30 yards in 4 seconds. That's about 25 miles an hour. He's Jimmy John's fast. That's freaky fast.
Yeah, there was a rumor floating around there where they said they clocked him at 28 on that reverse, 28 miles an hour.
We got our friend Nick Green in the comments as well. He's a big time Packer fan. He thinks that Jordan Love is the best QB in the NFC North. And he also said what he's noticed about Bruce Irvin is that he isn't any good at all.
Okay.
Well, just consider yourself fortunate that you don't have to face him.
Well, just consider himself fortunate that he doesn't have to watch football games in order to make opinions, because you couldn't have watched the football game and said that.
Let's talk about the real story from yesterday. The guy holding the first down marker's leg. Goodness. We were in the Lions Den, and when they showed that, everyone said, "Oh,
we're going to bite a kneecap off."
We're going to bite your kneecap off, even if you're a first down official.
So bad. I'm going to hell for that one. That one sucked. Come on, Russ. Why'd you do that?
There now, Mike brings it. Yeah. Collided with a staff member from a scene. This guy leg was broken. Yeah, for sure, Bear Down Mike.
Wow.
That was gruesome. Poor guy. We hope he's okay. The guy sitting next to me in the Lions Den said, "Oh, don't sweat it. That guy never has to work again in his life."
Yep. But But I wanted to echo. I wanted to go back because I maybe Nick joined late after our Green Bay Packer love fest at the beginning of this right here, and now I'm realizing that that song can work both ways. And right there, that's what they're singing in Kansas City right now. Because love hurts. Love hurts them Kansas City Chiefs right now. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you about Love being the best quarterback in the NFC North with his 3-game track record of goodness. Now, I'm sure that Goff might have something to say about it, considering he's been to a Super Bowl. But I mean, I'm not going to argue with you on that because I think upside, you're looking at Love. I thought he was awesome yesterday. I can't say anything other than Love was an awesome quarterback in that game, and he was an awesome quarterback in the week before when they played against us. So I can't take anything away from you, Nick. It's my quarterback. I want to. I hate your team. I hate your quarterback. I hate Green. Just everything about it. But I'm not unrealistic. I call it the way that I see it. And here's another thing that I saw yesterday. And I know I had some people coming at me saying, oh, yeah, he ain't going to get that. You got to look out. What about Amon-Ra St. Brown? I told y'all to go take the over on that.
He smashed it. He smashed it.
And by the way, I told you that you should have taken the over on 100 yards on that. And by the way, if you had have listened to me, you would have been like plus 980. You're welcome.
Sam Laporta, 9 catches, 140 yards, and a touchdown. 140 yards. Sets a Detroit Lions rookie single game record for a tight end.
Yeah, I thought he would go over 100, but I mean, I didn't think that he would blow that one out of the water right there. And you add the touchdown on top of that, I think that you would have cleaned house on a $100 bet.
Mm-hmm. And you also called it that Jack Campbell would lead the team in tackles. He did lead the team in tackles with 9 and 2 tackles for loss.
I would have gotten the one wrong if you hit the 10 or over. I thought he'd get to 10 tackles, so I apologize for that one.
Yeah, he got to 9, but that's a pretty big number. His over-under was only 7. So
right.
If you'd have took the over like you said, he would have. So we couldn't find that prop at the beginning, but they did hang that prop for Jack Campbell just before game time.
So what did I put into this one right there? Yeah. I wanted to say about this is that the Lions are they're showing the clutch gene. Like, I don't care what the game ended up being, but here's the thing is when you're on the road, it's 4th down, right? You're going to close the game out. The biggest, like, those are the moments, right? Like, you can play the whole other game and everything can lead up to a moment. And that's what most NFL games do. It's like there's a bunch of like tennis playing. They're just volleying the ball back and forth until you have to make a move at the end, right? You're running out of time. And here's that pivotal moment, pivotal moment that the Lions are really good in those moments where it comes down to, hey, Jordan fades back. He swishes. Jordan fades back. He doesn't miss as much. The Lions don't miss much in that. What a play by Jared Goff at the end. Evading the rush, stepping up into the pocket while he's going down, throwing a dime to Josh Reynolds on the road. Cold as ice. F you. We're leaving the field with the victory. Kneel down, victory formation.
Mm-hmm.
See you later. The clutch gene is here.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes down to the end of the game, I'm going to put my money on Goff. Now, Jordan Love, he had a great game. I mean, that's fine. I don't know if he's been good enough long enough that I would put money on the clutch part, right? In the big moment, he had to make those. He had to make those throws. That was on Patrick Mahomes to make those throws yesterday. The Packers were winning. He did his awesomeness got out to a lead, and they were able to stop the comeback, right?
I'd like to say, I'd also like go ahead, Russ. I thought you were done.
But I'm just trying to paint the picture of the moment. It's like you don't get them all the time. Sometimes your team just wins outright, and then you're holding on to the lead. But every once in a while, you get a moment to where it's like, this is the play that's going to change the game. This is the play that's going to directly impact what happens as win and loss. Because what happens if the Lions don't get that fourth down? Well, they're going to give them the ball right there on the 40-yard line where they got to go down and they have another chance to win the game, right? And the defense hadn't been playing that well up to that point, right? You're worried at that point. Maybe not a Jameson Winston, but still, you want to close the game out in that big pivotable moment. Pivotable. I said it again. What the hell's wrong? Take over, Mike. Damn, I can't even get it out of my mouth.
Yeah, that was a pivotal moment in the game, Russell Wayne. But I'd like to give kudos to all the Green Bay Packer fans for coming back now that your team is winning. You're back out of hiding. Hopefully you've learned how to lose a little bit and, what it takes to talk smack from the bottom. So we predicted that the Packers would finish second in this division. It looks like that might play out. No offense, Sarah. But the Packers schedule is a little bit more favorable than the Vikings going down the stretch. So Packers definitely in the hunt for a playoff spot. Kudos to the Packer fans for coming back now that your team doesn't suck anymore. It would be nice though if you guys go through hard times and you would still show up. Like Russ and I, when we were 3-13-1, we were still right here. There were just a lot less people watching at that time.
And I'm seeing Green Bay Packer fans being Green Bay Packer fans. I'm not even going to call them out by name anymore because it's like pesky little whiny guys that just want to pop out only when it's good, and they're just taking pot shots in here.
What they should do is they should come out on Monday nights. Monday night, that's tonight, folks. So all you Packer fans playing whack-a-mole this morning, popping your heads up, and popping down when you lose, popping up when you win. Come on over tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's the NFC North open mic. Oh, that's us right there. That's the Packers telling the Lions, let the butthurt flow through you. NFC North open mic, 7 p.m. Eastern. Put that graphic. There it is. And we're going to be talking about Victory Monday for the Packers, Victory Monday for the Bears and Lions as well. Bears winning against the bye this week. Congratulations. I'll try to keep it. I'll try to rein it in, buddy. I'll save it for tonight. Sorry. 7 p.m. Eastern. Come and join us.
Yeah, we're more professional than Green Bay Packer fans. You do have your unleashing moment that you'll have tonight, and I can't wait for you to be able to throw some back in it. But we're going to give the Packers respect in this because they deserve after their performance yesterday. Okay, they played well. They deserve it. I think the Lions deserve respect too, especially. As bad as the defense is, that they finally got two takeaways, one that you can really count, the other one might be dumb luck off of, the center bouncing it off of somebody's head or something and us getting a fumble. But you want to see your team getting better. You want to see them learning from mistakes. And for a team that's played 4 games of bad football, according to the fan base, to be 3-1 in those 4 games, I'll take it. I honestly, if I'm going to play bad football and be 3-1, I mean, what happens if we start playing good football? Which I think that there's definitely moments of, gosh, if we could get that for 4 quarters, we'd be unstoppable. There's moments of that with the Lions' young team. And I'm seeing that come together with the Packers too. You're seeing young players starting to chemistry it out, right? They're starting to figure out the schematics of their defense, and the game's slowing down a little bit for them. And they're starting to trust the guy that's next to them to make the play. It's happening.
One thing we haven't mentioned too is I love that the Lions ran the table on the NFC South.
They sure
ran the
did.
table. And if they beat the Denver Broncos in 2 weeks, they'll run the table on the AFC West as well. That's pretty nice. NFC North looking real tough. Sarah says, our good friend Sarah, she's a Viking fan, says it'd be hella funny if at the end 3 NFC North teams make the playoffs. What do you think about that, Russ? Could the Vikings, Packers, and Lions make the playoffs in this climate that we're seeing in 2023? I mean, the Seattle Seahawks lost again.
I think it's absolutely possible because, like, I think that either you're looking at the Packers to run the table, right? If the Packers would run the table, and I think that that's very possible with the way that they had their end of the games, they would be 10-7. And I think that would absolutely be a wild card berth. The 9-8 one, I think that's going to be the other team. The other team's going to be 9-8. I think it's very possible that the Vikings could go 5-1, especially if we already have the division locked up and they can get an easy one at the end when we have our backups in. You know, the Vikings could be 9-8, or the Vikings could be 10-7, and the Packers could be 9-8 by losing one of those 5, right? I think it's very possible there is going to be a 9-8 team that I think makes it, because it's such a big pack. There's a bunch of teams that are 6-6 now. A bunch of them are bunched in there after the 4.
And the Bears can play spoiler, right? The Bears could play spoiler because they play all 3 teams. So they could hand all 3 of us a loss.
And that's another team that's
dangerous.
I mean, defensively, they're a lot better than what people thought we're going to be. Gosh, and Justin Fields can throw the ball average. You know, he could be dangerous because he's such a playmaker. But let's see, it's interesting. You got a bunch of little, all 3 of the teams got to battle each other, and we just got the Bears, and then it's just the Vikings after that. They all have to play each other without us. And we'll see who comes out. I don't know. What do you think? Vikings, Packers? Like, that's going to be a real interesting division matchup when it comes through. Both 6-6. I think the Packers are the better team. I think it's going to play out kind of how we envisioned. I thought the Vikings would be last, and I'm not saying that they won't be last now. I mean, here come the Bears. Here come the Bears out of the basement. You think the Bears could fight their way out of a basement?
They beat Minnesota last week. Now they got a bye week. I've lost the schedules. I had the schedule around here somewhere for all the teams, but I've lost it. How about that Philadelphia-San Francisco game? San Francisco just coming and flexing their muscle on the road, beating a 10-1 Eagles team, and just totally, we got another Packer fan coming all out. It would be 11-6, Russell. Count all your fingers and toes. Nice.
Yeah. If they were to win out, they would be 11-6, right? They could win out. All of the games are winnable, but it's like to say, gosh, all 5. I think 4-1 is a realistic expectation for a Green Bay Packer fan. I think that you guys have a very, very good, legitimate shot at 10-7, and you could realistically put it on there. You even got a trip up game. So, and I'll count all my fingers and toes. Right now, the Lions are at their win total that they had from last year, with 5 games left, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
I like that feeling.
Brian says Packers and the upcoming Rams could be the wild cards. The Rams are upcoming. I think they've won 3 in a row now. Matthew Stafford looking healthy. Seattle keeps losing. The Rams could be a team that sneaks into the wild card. Wouldn't it be sweet to beat Matt Stafford at a playoff game as a Detroit Lion? Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be something else. But it would be devastating to be on the other end of that. Yeah, we were talking about that, Robert. I mean, you guys aren't used to losing. I can tell because, you know, it's like all this tough talk. Like, we haven't even been doing tough talk on you guys. And you guys just like, that's how you can tell that they're coming out of nowhere, right? You're like, whoa, where's this? All of a sudden, this hostility coming in. And we haven't even been running you in the mud. But actually been giving your team props for the last 3 weeks.
I love it. They probably had a pre-production meeting with Butthurt Bill and said, okay, I want you guys to go into the comments. Give him some shit.
The most realistic, but you said that the table, so we counted all 5 wins. Yeah, you guys could be 11. You guys could win 11 games. You could win 11 games, right? And think about that. You could win 11 games, but you guys were such awful fans that you go into witness protection for 4 games because you were down, because you can't support your team while they're losing. That's the funniest part about it. Now they're all coming in all tough talk. Sarah says Seattle has the toughest schedule out of all of us. Yes, Seattle could end up with like the losing record. And then the Rams did pop up out of nowhere. We want to thank the Rams as Lions fans for letting us have their 6th pick overall and having while you were sucking, we got to pick that pick. And now you're good again, though. You still got Aaron Donald. You still got the best defensive player in the game.
The 1 seed is still in play for the Lions, too. Don't count that out. With San Francisco beating Philly yesterday and Philly moving to 2 losses now, they absolutely could lose another game. They get Dallas and Seattle in the next 2 games for Philadelphia. Then they get the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants. So Dallas and Seattle can do their job and beat Philadelphia and send them to 4 losses. I think the Lions have a shot. It's an out. I mean, there's a chance the Lions could still get the number 1 seed and a bye in the first round with home field advantage. That's going to make the Lions tough. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's San Francisco. If the Lions are at home, it's going to be hard.
And right here, to me, the greatest Packer fan on earth right here, A-Dub has been here every single week showing support for the Green Bay Packers, because he was here all summer long, you know, while everybody was talking all the smack. But he was also here when everybody else left. Everybody that was behind watching, I was supporting but not commenting people. But A-Dub's been here. Development and progression was the most important thing for me in Green Bay. I look at making the playoffs as a bonus experience to the young core that we have. And God, that's got to feel good for you. That's got to feel good for you because you have a young team. And when you know that you got a whole bunch of guys that are making $1.50 that are on your team that are good enough core players to be good, then you know the future's bright. You know, I mean, I hate saying this about the Packers. Now you got another $40 million you're going to get to throw into the team. You're going to be able to bring in a veteran presence, and you'll be competing next year, if not this year. It's crazy. Gun Guy says Lions blew out the Pack in Green Bay. It ain't we ain't scared of the Pack at all. Yeah, that's the part that I have that bothers me. And I'll give Robert that. Robert actually came on the next day after the Packers got blown out by the Lions and owned it. He owned it. And A-Dub was there. And that was it. That was it. Everybody else. Steve is real, kind of comes in and out. But Steve's been the guy, I would say, third from A-Dub. But that's all right. Fan the way that you want to fan. Fan that you want to fan. I mean,
Ken says Dallas is my biggest concern. He's got to be talking about on the Lions schedule, right?
Yeah. I think
Go ahead.
Dallas, I'm not concerned about Dallas. I think that's a game that they should want to get up for. And I think that they need Dallas. They need to go into Dallas and win. Because that's something that would like douse the hater, right? Like, I think that Green Bay did that yesterday. Like, it's almost like you legitimize the goodness of your team with a win like that, right? Like, I believe that Green Bay is a real playoff contending team now because of that victory validates that. Dallas, going into Dallas and getting a victory in Dallas, if Detroit does that, that's a validating win for that. Yeah. So it's not a concern for me. To me, it's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You like that? All right. Yeah. I feel like we need to set the mood right here. I'm sorry, man.
I like this one. Wouldn't it be something if the Packers and Vikings finished the seasons on great win streaks, but missed the playoffs by a frog hair, just like the Lions did last year? Well, Jeff, that's a great call out, but Lions won 9 games. If the Lions would have won 10 games, they'd have been in the playoffs. And if either of those teams can get to 10 wins, they're going to be in the playoffs. You can book it.
Yeah. And looking at the top teams, it's like, which one of the teams do you think could have a shot against some of the top teams?
I love Pull Peters. Pull Peters is back in the comments again. Pull. We definitely invite you, Pull, to come to the Monday Night Smack Talk Arena because you're just kind of like a little sissy coming in on the morning show in the comments. So come in on Monday night and talk some stuff. Thank you for the comment, Pull.
Bruce Irvin, impact player. Liked that. Jordan Love looks like the real deal.
Bruce Irvin has sacked the greatest quarterbacks in history. He sacked Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. He sacked even Russell Wilson.
Great name.
He has sacked the greatest quarterbacks of our time. 55 career sacks. He had 3.5 last year at 35 years old. In 2017, he was ranked in the top 100 players by his peers. He punched Rob Gronkowski, which I think is amazing. Super Bowl champion. Super Bowl 48. Also played in Super Bowl 49, losing to the Patriots where he was ejected. In 2013, Bruce Irvin was suspended for substance abuse for 4 games. He had 8 sacks as a rookie. In 2016, Bruce Irvin led the league in forced fumbles. Currently on his 6th NFL team, which includes 3 separate stints with the Seattle Seahawks. In 2020, Bruce Irvin had a torn ACL. Definitely a member of the Legion of Boom. It was great to see him have an impact on a limited snap count. And I feel like he energized the whole defense. Even after he pile drived Derek Carr into the turf, he was on the sideline high-fiving and slapping hands with his teammates, getting everybody pumped up. Good to get a road win in the NFC. I don't care what happened, what the circumstances are.
And I'm looking at this wild card race right here, and it's like, guys got some shots to be in there. Like this is a big game for the Chicago Bears against the Lions this week, because you're looking at the wild card race. Like right now, you got 9-3, 10-2, 9-3, and then it's like the Falcons are 6-6, the Cowboys are definitely going to make the playoffs as a wild card, right? And then right there, the next 4, Vikings, Packers, Rams, and Seahawks are all 6-6. Then you got the Buccaneers at 5-7, Saints at 5-7, and then the Bears at 4-8. It's like they're all right in there. They're right in the middle. Who do you think out of all those teams is going to sneak out of there? I mean, the Seahawks look like they're on the way down, right? I mean, Vikings, Packers, Rams. Only 2 get to make it. Because the Cowboys are going to be 1, right? That's a great question. Who do you got out there? I mean, we really stick more NFC North here when we're talking on this show. But there was only 2 games. They had 2 teams on a bye. Lions going into Soldier Field, and this is a game. This is a season ender game. This, I believe 100%, the season is on the line. If the Bears want to come out of the basement, you can't go to 4-9. You want to come out of the basement, you have to win this. You have to beat the Lions.
What's up, Jerome? Nick Green says Packers and Rams will make the last 2 playoff spots. That seems like a pretty solid call at this point. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but that sounds like a pretty solid call.
Well, of course, my precious ego would love Nick to be right in this situation because we called that. We called the wheels to fall off for the Vikings, that they didn't have the depth to hang in and be competitive, that they were going to be at the bottom of the division. So yes, I'm going to root for the Bears to overtake them, but not root for the Bears because they're playing us this week. Ooh, I'm in a conundrum, Mike. Mm-hmm. No, but I like that call. I think it's a great story for the Packers. I hate it because it's the Packers, but it's a cool story if you pull yourself out of your own fandom bubble, that they can lose Aaron Rodgers, acquire draft capital, rip a Band-Aid off, be $40 million behind the cap, and have Matt LaFleur actually roster a competitive team that has a shot to go to the playoffs. That's pretty good. It reminds me a lot of last year's Lions at that time. Where they about ready to go on a winning streak. You could tell that the game started slowing down for some of the younger players. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened.
Don't forget, tomorrow's PFF Tuesday.
Yep. We'll go through all the nerdy numbers. Nerd alert. Nerd alert. All the nerdy guys.
PFF Tuesday tomorrow. And then NFC North, of course, tonight. Be sure to follow our Facebook page. It's Lions Villain Squad. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. It's at Main Event 365. I got to jump off of here, Russ. I've got to grab a box of tissues in Halloween 2. So,
all right, man. All right, brother. That is right. Main Event Mike in the house.
God bless you all, even you, Pull.
That's Main Event Mike. You can catch him tonight. All you smack talkers, man, that ain't my bag. I don't want to do that. That ain't my thing. I love fanning for my team. I might even be a little bit more homerish towards my team, especially when I'm talking about the Lions. But, I want to feel good about my team. And even my enemies, from you Green Bay Packers, like, I want to beat the best versions of your team, right? I want you to grow in your team too. I like the fans that know every player. Know the deep fans. But tonight, it's not about that. It's about some smack talking. Get a little smack talk in. Vikings and Bears didn't even have a game, but they got a game coming up. How you feeling? It's war week. Lions versus Chicago. In Chicago. Soldier Field. Lions are 9-3. 9-3. Sam Laporta, you had yourself one hell of a game, man. You took that over. If you took that over, you're welcome. I told you to take the over 100. Those of you that listen got plus 980, or whatever that means. I do my best. Try to pick winners for you. If you get into that stuff. I don't get into that stuff. I don't gamble. But I love picking games against the spread. I love the idea of prop bets. Oh, a guy's going to get more yards in that. Oh, he's going to get less tackles in that. I like that. You like that? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I like that. I like knowing about your enemy. That's where a lot of this came from. Know thy enemy. I want to know what you got. And then I report it back. And like I said, it's real. The Packers are for real. I think the Vikings, well,
but they are who we thought they were.
I think that's kind of what they are. That was a bad loss. That was a bad loss to the Bears. You know, all field goals. That really didn't look good on either team. Thought the Lions defense played better. They did. Jameson Williams is really fast. Guy, when he came around on that reverse. Can't teach that speed. He was the fastest guy in the NFL. At least in this week he was. Clocking him in. Lions beat the Saints. Packers over the Chiefs. Woo! One thing I remember, Jordan Love. I know Nick Green. Nick, I know that you were jumping up and down. I know that you were jumping up and down when they drafted Jordan Love. And that's legit. You know, a lot of podcasters and people out there talk all the crap, and they come in 6 months later, they completely change their mind and act like they've been that way the whole time. But you have been a Jordan Love supporter since day one. Even watched him at Utah State. But I saw it yesterday, Nick. I watched that game. You know me, man. I'm a diehard Lions fan, and I wanted to look at Jordan Love's game, and I wanted to be like, yeah, whatever. This guy, he's gonna be a bust. But man, going through his reads, if you blitz somebody, he was throwing it right to the open spot. I mean, QB 101, he did it with poise. I mean, it is what it is. But I did see the same thing in Jared Goff, too. I mean, you look at the end of that game and the biggest moment, on a 4th down while he's getting sacked, throws a dime right there. Josh Reynolds closed the game out. That's what you want. You want a guy that gets ice cold at the end. Like, I don't care where I'm at. I'm in your living room. Oh. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful day to be a football fan. Like, as a Lion fan, like, smack talking, gosh, man, we have our own fan base smack talk against us, Nick. Yeah, you can win a game, and my fan base will treat you like you're dumb because we lost it somehow. You would think we lost the last 4 games if you talk to our fan base. And there's problems on every team. Like, as a Packer fan, I look at the rush defense and I go, damn, we can't stop the run. But they're not saying that. The Packers fan base is overjoyed. They're at 6-6 and they're pumped. Lions fans are 9-3 for the first time, like, ever. Ever. Like I said, if I had a nickel for every time the Lions were 9-3, I'd have a nickel. I wouldn't even have 2 nickels to rub together. I'd have 1 nickel. I don't care how it came. I mean, Lions fans are happy to be winning. And if you're expecting Super Bowls and stuff like that, I don't know if we're there yet. But I'm happy enough to think that we could be. Lions fans can feel like they could do something. The defense isn't the best in the world, but the offense might be the best in the world. The offense is explosive. And they haven't even peaked yet. Like, Jamison Williams coming into the fold, that's like having an extra queen in chess. It's like he ain't even getting a lot of touches yet, but you got to account for him. The Packers have that in Christian Watson. Christian Watson is like throwing a queen out there. Extra queen. Because all the other guys with the tight ends, Musgrave and Kraft, when they get both those guys out there, and the whole team's young. They're all on rookie deals. So when it comes to just 2023 and beyond, yeah, I love being 9-3 now. That's great. But I love how the team's built because it's built to last from the Lions side. From the Green Bay side, you're watching these guys bloom right in front of you. Yeah, all these guys are on rookie deals. You feel good about that. As Bears fans, as a Bear fan, you want to believe in Justin Fields. I feel that from the fan base. As Bear fan, I'm talking to you now. Bear fan. If I'm Bear fan, I like where the defense is going. I think I paid a little too much for my linebackers, but I can live with that because we're hitting on draft picks. You got a good secondary. You got a couple good young defenders. Real scrappy team now on defense. But I want to believe in Justin Fields. That's what I am. If I'm a Bear fan, that's what I say. I want to believe in Justin Fields. All that ability's there, right? I want to believe. If I'm a Bear fan, I want to believe in Justin Fields. But in the back of my mind, I'm creeping in with them 2 first-round draft picks, maybe even 2 top 5 picks. The thought of taking the quarterback of my choice and Marvin Harrison Jr. That thought creeps in. Or just taking, the stud defender and Marvin Harrison Jr. and doing that with Justin Fields. But Justin Fields has got to prove that he can be a below average passer. He needs to be at least a below average passer consistently. That's how I would feel as a Bear fan. Now, Viking fan, gosh, I'm all over the place with the Vikings because I would still feel a certain way about Kwesi and how he's done things. Because now that we've came back down to reality, I'm trying to find a graphic I can throw up during this. That one. There we go. This was from last week, but anyway, it's got the Viking logo on there. I couldn't find another one that had the Viking logo. But Dobbs, now that everybody's back down to earth with Dobbs, and you're looking at that defense. It is young, but you can't just blitz all the time. It's not going to work on everybody. Like I'm not feeling very confident if I'm Minnesota Viking fan. And I know I've been dogging on you guys all year. And I'll give your defense credit that it's better than we thought it was going to be. But where you're in the middle of this pack and you're looking at these other teams that are fighting for playoff spots, I think that you might be on the outside looking in. I mean, you're looking at that. How confident are you? You're going to have to go in and play the Lions twice. You got to play the Packers. Head up. You got to play and I'm going to call them a scrappy Raiders team this week as the Vikings. This Raiders team ain't no pushover anymore. They got rid of what the hell is his name? That he's got a McDaniel punchable face. McDaniel. He's got a punchable face like Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia has like one of the most punchable faces ever, if you think about it. And don't you? Even if you're not in even if you're not a Lion fan, look at that. Look at that face right there. As a Packer fan, look at that face. Isn't that a punchable face? Look at that. Matt Patricia. He was the smartest guy in the room. Yeah. The Raiders, that's not a bad team right now. It's almost like they're playing for something. They have a bunch of solid players. The Raiders do. But they had awful coaching. To the point where they were trying to cuss this guy out, saying that none of them liked None of them like the coach. That's bad, man. That's bad. So, I don't know. I look at the end of this schedule right here, and the Vikings. That's pretty tough. You know, you got to go play the Lions. That's division game, Christmas Eve. And then you play the Packers, and then you play the Lions again. Now you got the Raiders this week. I don't know. I'm looking at some of these other paths. And I think that the Rams playing pretty good. They got good defense. Rams and Packers. Packers got a pretty easy schedule. I was liking them to get 10 wins, even losing to KC. You guys make fun of me on miscounting that, and I did. I was one of those bum Lion fans that counted KC as a loss already. But you look at Green Bay. What do you got left here? Get my little scheduler out. Green Bay. You can go play the Giants on Monday Night Football. Oh my God. There's another game for Jordan Love to light up that trash Giants defense. That sounds like a win. And then the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers will probably give you they'll give you a run. They'll play good defense. They have a pretty good defense. But you should beat the Buccaneers. The Packers should beat the Buccaneers. And then the Panthers, holy crap. That might be the worst team in the NFL. Bears beat them. Packers beat them. There you go. So there's a 9 wins. And then they go play the Vikings. Right there. That's what a big game that is. Week 16. New Year's Eve. All those are winnable games. You know, you say LOL. Like, are you really laugh? That's just kind of funny. It's like, are you concerned about your team at all? Defense is okay. Your defense is okay. Your defense kind of got exposed over the last couple of weeks. You think the Lions defense, you didn't watch the game, you thought the Lions defense got exposed. Like I said, they had a 3rd down completion where Derek Carr just threw the ball up, threw it way short. You know, you talk fluke plays. They got lucky to even be close in that game. New Orleans defense played way better. Jumped out. Never looked back. But you'll see this week. That's a big game for you too. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this winnable game, Sarah, as a Viking fan. You got to play the Raiders this week. So that's a winnable game, right? You put that on the schedule, and with that good defense, you should be able to beat the Raiders, right? It is an ascending Raiders team, though. I don't know. You gonna fight in there? You guys aren't fighting with us. It's like your defense is better than our defense. Even if that's true, our offense is way better than your offense. Lions got a top 5 offense. And it's not even all the way together yet. It's like a little kid. Like Ben Johnson's like a little kid with a whole bunch of toys. He doesn't even know how to. He's trying to figure out how he can put all of his toys together. I did like how the Lions played better on defense. They did. You come right out, you get a turnover, touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 3 and out, touchdown. They jumped out. Now, the play calling from that point, that's probably where they're going to get the most criticism. I want to see him step on the gas more, but that's more offensively. I mean, you eliminate a couple, like, very eliminatable mistakes, like Bruce Irvin. Just, I love the aggressiveness. Come right in, get 2 sacks. One of them didn't count because you decided to stone cold stunner Derek Carr down to the canvas. Ooh, yeah. Bruce Irvin climbed up to the top rope, brother. Dropped the Macho Man elbow down on the Derek Carr into the stomach. Personal foul. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. Don't beat yourself. Lions are a good team. Don't beat yourself. Don't be so undisciplined that you beat yourself. You went down there and you had command. And this right here, this is me giving you the kudos. It's kudos that you deserve. Like, I like talking trash, but I also think it's nonsense to talk trash when there's nothing there really to talk trash. Like, everything that we were talking trash about, they've overcame, just like the Lions. I don't give a shit how it happened. That's 9-3. 9-3 is hard to do. You know how I know it's hard to do? Because I've been a fan my entire life and I haven't seen 9-3. Okay? It's not easy. And if you are somebody that's had that and it seems like it's easy and you're just used to 9 wins all the time, then you should check yourself and just be happy. As a Lion fan, take a deep breath, breathe it in, because it could all fall apart. You could lose the next 5 games and then you're 9-8 fighting for a playoff spot, lost the division, right? That's why I always say, when you win, you get a metaphorical 7-day pass to run through the streets of wherever you're from naked, metaphorically, celebrate those wins. You get to do that. Packers had a losing record going into that game. Now, they don't have a losing record no more because they took care of business. Run through the streets of Green Bay naked, metaphorically. Say, hell yeah. That's what a Packer fan should do. Lion fan, I'm going to help you here. 9-3. 9-3. You got the win. You got a win on the road. 5-1 on the road. Lion fan, feel good. You should feel good. You should feel good. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with feeling good. You don't have to make up reasons. Oh, they could have did this and then they could have. Stop that. Look at Sarah. Look at Sarah. She's got her 6-16, and she's confident. He only had one game that they gave up over 30 points. She still loves her team, no matter what. I'm not saying that Lion fans that complain don't love their team. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, don't steal your own joy. Like, I'm trying to do smack talking right here, and like Sarah's smack talking back with me, but I have to like battle with my own fan base. Like my own fan base, like they come at me like we've just lost 4 games in a row. The defense has been bad since the Chargers game. And there's truth in that, but the thing is like in the NFL, it's like find a way to win. We find a way to win the game. That's how you have to do it. Don't go back into wins and try to take the moments away or rewrite things and say, well, if this and that. No. It's, did you win? Did you lose? So I'm just trying to tell Lion fan, it's okay to feel good about 9-3. Got to go into Chicago, take care of business. Go and make it 10-3. Take care of your own business. And that's what shuts the haters up. We can talk all the smack that we want. At the end, Sarah and I have been at each other all year. All year long. She's a great Viking fan. Out there talking smack on her team's side, right? So far, we got 9 wins. There's nothing shuts up a hater like wins, right? But, we can go on a 5-game losing streak. The Vikings could go on a 5-game losing streak. It could happen. 6-11. I ain't gonna run her down. I'm gonna feel bad for her, actually, if that happened. Because I know what it's like to follow your team and have them disappoint you. No one knows that more than a Lion fan does. Disappointment, stealing defeat from the jaws of victory. You want to prove to me that it's different? Then be different. And so far, they keep winning. They keep finding ways to win. And that's what you want from your team. Find a way to win. Stop trying to minimize it. Stop trying to minimize the victories. It's hard to win in the NFL. It came down to a clutch moment in the game. Jared Goff, Josh Reynolds delivered. It came down to a clutch moment in the game. Green Bay's defense held out. Put a stop to the last drive. That's all that matters. Oh, they could have called the pass interference. They could have just They didn't. They didn't call pass interference. I don't care if they even should have. That would have changed what? They would have been a 1st and goal. They would have a chance to tie it. Then they would have had to execute a 2-point conversion to tie. Then it would have came down to a coin toss. That's too many variables. Stop it. They didn't call a penalty. Grow up. Stop blaming the refs. Now, if there's a Green Bay Packer fan that wants to come out and admit that, that's fine. That's different. You're allowed to point out referee stuff when your team wins. You can point that out. If you're a Packer fan, point that out. That was a penalty, wasn't it? You can point that out. You could admit it, that you got away with one. You can admit it, and you can also say, I won't apologize for it either. I'm sure that you could go back through the game and find penalties that they should have called on Kansas City somewhere. They got screwed, and that's fine. It's okay, because you can look at it and say that. But the Packers still did play good enough to win. So, and there you go, right? Corey, I am on your side with that. I am not saying that you can't have that opinion. I mean, if you want to say KC got screwed, that's fine. If you're a KC fan, I would be livid today. I would be beaten. I would be pounding it, and you're gonna get that official NFL apology letter. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're so sorry. We got that one wrong. Well, and it'll have like the official Lion or the NFL logo at the top. Yep. You have every right. But what I'm saying, Corey, is that as a Packer fan, you're not going to apologize for it, because you say, hey, if we didn't get that call, we would go crazy, right? You're right. You're right, Corey. If we didn't get that call, we would go crazy. But if that was a no call and we won the game, you wouldn't see us apologizing for it. You wouldn't. You wouldn't be going, oh man. You might say, hey, we got lucky. Oh, that they should have got that. That's fair. But I don't want to make it a habit of us blaming refs, because there's good bad calls all over the place. There is. I even thought that the Bruce Irvin penalty was he fell on him. He shouldn't have driven him to the ground like that. But I mean, the essence of the hit from where it started, it wasn't a dirty hit until he drove him to the ground. It didn't become a penalty until it was the drive to the ground. That him hitting him from the shoulder, where the contact was hit, if he would have just not even went to the ground and just popped him, it wouldn't have been a penalty. But I don't know. I think out of all those 6-6 teams, that Green Bay is the most dangerous. Out of the 6-6 teams, I think Green Bay is the most dangerous. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Week 16. Christmas Eve. Because I do think the Vikings are better than we thought they were going to be defensively. But I also think that there's tape now. And schematically, they're going to have to do something other than what they're doing, or else they're going to get beat up by all the teams. But we'll see. We'll see this week. You got a test in the Raiders. Vikings versus Raiders this week. I think that's going to be a good test there. Devontae Adams. You got a rookie quarterback in Aiden O'Connell who doesn't have a lot of tape. Pretty good running back there. But we'll see. We'll see. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? Who's going to be the starting quarterback there in Minnesota? When are they going to get Justin Jefferson back? That's another question. Paul Jones in here talking about Bruce Irvin is going to eat next to Hutch, getting doubled all the time. Right now, they're easing Bruce Irvin in. I mean, I don't know how long it really takes to get into like full football shape. I'd love to look at the snap counts, you know. Yep. If Love continues to be consistent, right? That's the $1 million question, right? But he's got a 3-game track record now. So that's showing me something, because it took him a minute, but then he put it together, and it seems like he's reading the defense and he's understanding where he's supposed to hit his receivers schematically. It's good. I think that this is the real Jordan Love. This is something I put up last week. Was asking, you know, he had a good game against the Lions. You know, I need to see you do it more. And he did it again. So now we're seeing a pattern. And it's the latest patterns that are the biggest thing. You can see what they're trying to do. They got different playmakers from different spots. So I think that's where it's at. I like that. I like that. I hope that you guys come on tonight. We want to invite you to NSC North open mic tonight, because I got to get out of here. I'm going to go hang out with my son, who just came home from his first leg of school. So, but I want to invite you guys out tonight. NSC North open mic at 7 p.m. right before Monday Night Football. And that's a little more risque. Come on, talk some trash. Talk some trash with the King of Sting. He might have ran them all out. They might all be afraid, but that's all right. But this is NFC North talk, football talk. Russell Wayne, every single morning during the week, 11 a.m. Appreciate you guys, man. We are affiliate marketing partners with NFL Shop and WWE Shop. There's a link in the description. It takes you to WWE Shop. You can save 25% by using our link. And they got the cool belts. That's what I did. We got the WWE link in there. If you're into, you know, championship belts and all that, appreciate that. This has been Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Appreciate you guys watching. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. That'll be tonight for NFC North open mic. Peace and love.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it, because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.